Hi. Hi, guys. Yes, it's a very cloudy Saturday in Abuja. Yeah. Let's get this ginger. Ginger. Okay. Welcome to the Mimi Water Show, where we talk, we gist, we relate, we rapport, we inspire, and we speak the truth, and we speak the mind, and we conversate. Well, today my talk gists. I'm gonna be talking about, and what I'm gonna be talking about is centered around the questions of self. The questions of self. I'm sure as people, as human beings, we ask ourselves these questions no matter how old or how young you are. Do you often wonder do you often wonder in your mind's voice, in your quiet consciousness, in those times where you're alone and it's you versus you, it's yourself versus yourself? Do you question your purpose, your existence? Do you question why you're here? How can you reach your highest self? These are questions that I ask myself, and I'm sure there are quite few number of people that might do the same. Do you question yourself? Do you ask yourself, am I good enough? Am I different? Am I talented? Of course you are. Of course I am. But how can I stand out? How can I break through? I mean, in this world of ours, in our time where there's so much chaos, it's choked up. How can you start your own thing? How can you be different? You're young, you're beautiful, you are educated, you are talented, but damn, you are confused. In this crazy world, you're confused. How can you do something that you really love and really matters and really creates an impact and makes a real change? And how can you make something of that? That's a big question. I ask myself that, and I'm sure a few people do too. I mean, in we are millennials, we are creative minds. It's we live in a world where that is in constant change. It's fast and it's changing. It's always on the go. How can you make an impact to your community, to the society? You know, in you have so much to give and so little at the same time. These are questions that we often ask ourselves. How can you crack the code of yourself? How can you be creative in a world where it looks like creativity is almost that, a lot of people are always creating and doing things? How can you still be creative and be different and be unique and be true? You know? How can I break this chain of poverty, the circle? How can you be of use to the point where you break the chains, where you break the chains of poverty in your community. It's not just your family, because right now poverty is a mindset thing. It's not just, and again, poverty is not just you not having money. Money is just paper. Your wealth is in your idea. Your wealth is here. That's what. That's a lot of things. That's one thing that most people don't understand. Poverty is a thing of the mind. And don't, when they say poverty, poverty is not just money, it's a mindset thing. How can you help your community eradicate that poverty mindset? How can you make people see themselves for who they really are? Do you even see yourself for who you really are? These are questions. I mean, and I'm more concerned as the day go by, as the year go by, as I grow older, and I've come to understand that we're all here as strangers. Life is a journey. I'm more concerned with what impact do I want to leave behind. I mean, in the life and in the place where you've seen yourself lose the people that you love, the young and even the old and not so old, you come to understand that I won't be here forever, for too long. Most of us won't be here in the next 150 years, 200 years, even 100 years time, even 80 years time to come. In this short phase of our lives where we embody this body, how can we serve a purpose? We are blessed with so many ideas, so many things, but at the same time we are confused, we are lost. We find ourselves, we lose ourselves again, we find ourselves and we keep losing ourselves. And there's so many distractions, the shenanigans, the clicks. I've come to understand that life is not all about the clicks and the flicks, whatever you want to call that. The moment you don't keep in touch with the social media and all of the grams for a week, you are lost, dead and forgotten in that world. But in the real, let's come back to the real world. You're probably famous, you're beautiful, you're well connected, but are you living your life to its highest point? Are you living your life to its full potential? What change are you making? If tomorrow you become inexistent, let's assume you take the form of a ghost. I mean, what would be the memory that you left behind? Have you been able to create a legacy for yourself and for, if you have children, for your children? These are questions. I mean, I don't want to be in this world just as a number, just to add to the number, just to be known and just to be forgotten too soon. I mean, I've come to understand that life is a journey. The clock is ticking every single day. The clock is ticking, and every day we draw nearer to our beds. Nature's bed. Of course, you know what I mean. And at the end of the day, how can I be relevant? How do I use myself to create change? These are questions. These are, when you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed at night, these are questions that you should ask yourself. Leave every shenanigan, whatever life, whatever you live, I mean, leave those behind and ask yourself, how can you be of service? And I already mentioned it though. And this whole thing here is, if you feel you're not good enough, if you feel you have so much to offer, if you feel you're not doing enough, that's because you really are not doing enough. And it's because the universe itself has so much in abundance put inside of you, that has been placed inside of you, that even your man spirit, it's aware that there is so much that you need to give. And your spirit reminds your body, your brain, it's a constant reminder that you need to do more, you need to do more, you need to do more. How can you do more? And this is a mind elevate. You have to elevate yourself. You have to be reborn in your mind. And in order for you to reach your highest self, is to understand that you have to be of service to mankind. You have to be ready to serve. And in service, I mean serve in your creativity, your ideas, your knowledge. You have to understand that in order to be your service, you have to use your life experience, whatever God has given you, the skill and whatever you have acquired in your journey. As you journey through life, you have to use it to serve mankind. As it is already established, we all are here to serve one another. The richest men are getting rich because they are being of service in some sort of way. The people out there are probably getting famous, getting known somehow because they are being of service. What I'm trying to say is, in order to reach your highest self, you have to understand that you have to serve. It's not enough. Service comes in different ways, and you have to search in your heart, your mind, what you can do. What can you do in this world, even if you are not getting paid? Now that's a question. What can you do for free for mankind? That's how you become of service. What can you do even if you are not getting paid? What can you do to change the life of that next person? You're probably a girl, you're probably a woman with a good platform. What have you done with that platform? How have you been able to impact the lives of the people that are around you? How have you been able to impact the life of your sister, of your family? Fine, you're probably impacting people's life outside. I mean, giving gifts, going to the motherless baby's home and trying to be philanthropic somehow to massage your conscience might probably not be good enough. You might have somebody that lives with you that needs to feel your impact in their lives. Your spouse, your friend. How can you really be of service to them? And trust me, being of service is not just something that has to do with, you benefiting or you having accolades for that thing that you're doing. That's not real. We should, as young people, we should all let's look for a way to give. I'm still finding myself, and how I can be of service in every way that I can be. But the big question is, are you ready? The big question is, are you willing? I mean, see, we are in a society that is angry. We are in a country that is going down the drain. I mean, I'm speaking from my heart right now. We are in a country that doesn't give us opportunities. We have to create opportunities for ourselves. We have to make opportunities for ourselves. We have to make a way for ourselves after going to school, after going through the stress, after going through NYSC, after going through all of that. You still come back to almost the point of zero and starting something out of nothing, where you are not even giving any structure, any opportunity to make something of it. But we still do. I mean, we are strong, we will survive. But in the process of giving ourselves these hopes and this and feeding our minds with these dreams, we have to come to terms with reality that there is no time. And the sooner we begin to really put ourselves out there to help one another, to serve mankind, then we would have lived a life filled with purpose. Then we would have lived a life that is worth living, no matter how big or how small. You would have lived a life that would have touched somebody. Now the question is, are you willing? Are you willing to overcome your own self? Because we are our number one enemies. When I say enemies, I mean we are the people that are holding ourselves back. How can you overcome your own self? How can you overcome fear? How can you overcome procrastination? How can you overcome doubts? How can you overcome your own demons and your weaknesses so you can truly serve mankind and reach your highest potential? That's something that I'll leave you with. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. I remain your girl, Miss Mimi Waters. Peace out.